Hey YouTube, it's Reese Sheehan. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on my videos. I went to our hometown's African American Leadership Conference today. And whenever I go to conferences such as these, I always get pumped up because it just reminds me that we are constantly striving for excellence. The stereotype about us as African Americans is that we're lazy, we're loud, we are promiscuous, and want handouts. That's just 4 off the top of my head. There are more, which I find interesting since those that enslaved our ancestors they didn't think any of those things about us then. We weren't lazy. Unfortunately, because they were breeding our ancestors, the promiscuousness, if that was true, they would have way more slaves than they did. Loud. Yeah, okay. I forget the other one that I said. Oh, want handouts. I don't know how I can forget that. You enslaved the whole people. Yeah, wanted handouts. Yeah, it's funny. So anyway, one of the speakers, keynotes, is named Dr. Randall Pinket, PhD. So I don't know. I have never in my life watched The Apprentice. Nothing about The Apprentice was ever anything I was interested in. He was I recognized him because after his stint on The Apprentice, he went on to do a lot of things. Matter of fact, he's been tapped for several different interviews and things like that since Trump was elected. And he said he does not support Trump and the behaviors. He's said it in interviews. So I recognized him as soon as he got on stage. But he showed two clips of The Apprentice. So the one was when Trump said, "Randall, you're hired." Everybody's excited. Then Trump goes, Randall, got a question for you. You know I respect you, but if you were in my shoes, would you hire both of you? What? So Dr. Pinket goes on to say, and his whole point of bringing that up was to say there are 2 sets of rules. There's the set over here that they say you jump through this hoop. If you act this way, you do this, you do that, you'll be rewarded. And then there's the rules over here that have more to do with about privilege. Now, that's my gist of what he was saying, because those are not the words he used. He actually called the words over here the privileged words, or I'm sorry, the meritocracy words. That was more of you work hard, you do what you're supposed to do, and this is what you'll get your rewards, right? Work hard at a job, you'll climb up, you'll get to that high, the pinnacle of success, and be a C-suite director. And then there's the privilege rules. Now what Trump pulled was privilege rules. What Dr. Pinkett his answer was that, and that definitely enlightened me, and it infuriated me at the same time. So Dr. Pinkett looked at Trump and said, so-and-so is a great candidate. However, this is The Apprentice, not The Apprentice. And when he said that, the people that were on The Apprentice, I guess they were on the panel too, or I mean, they like sat off to the side. Some of them were like, oh, boo, and then I don't think Trump did that before or since. Now again, remember, I've never watched The Apprentice at all. But Dr. Pinkett had a point. His point was, he could have said, okay, we can share it. But he felt that the legacy, if he would have done that, the legacy that he would have left for his children would have gave them the wrong message about who he was. And I agree with them. Now, I'm going to tell you, at first I was listening, I'm like, I probably would share it because I wouldn't want to embarrass her. But here's what he did, was he put himself over her, which is what he should have. That's not being selfish. He was offered the job. It wasn't for two people. It was one job. It was one apprentice. As Dr. Pinkett said, they said every week they had some challenge. There can only be one apprentice. One. So how is it that Trump put Dr. Pinkett in this horrible situation? To have to say, and I say it's horrible because it's the way the perception was that, he chose himself, is what he should have done. He chose himself. It reminds me of a workshop I went to where they tell you it was a 3-day seminar, and there was 3 sets of workshops. So, or like you had discovery, you had, something discovery, then masters, or discovery, something in here, and masters. So we were in the second part of the 3-tiered workshops. So I had been working with, there was like 20 of us. I had been working with these folks prior in our first seminar. And those seminars were really intense emotionally. So we were in a situation where we're given, and we had to take very seriously this scenario. So the scenario is, you are the captain of a spaceship. Your spaceship gets a meteor attack. Several meteors hit the hull of the ship, tearing a hole in the ship. There is only 2 life pods. And as the captain, you have to decide, of the 20 people in this room, who gets to stay and who gets to go. If you stay, you're going to die. If you get to go, you're going to live. It's going to preserve your life. So here I am. I'm the captain. And have worked with these people before, and I knew there was a husband and wife team who were working on their marriage, and they were struggling. And I said to myself, being the stoic, problem-solving savior, I'm going to give my life pods to them to save them so they can work on their marriage. And I was feeling very, very like, full of myself. Yes, hunty, I'm going to save these people's lives, girl. Yes. And then a voice said to me, don't you have 2 kids? Yeah, I got 2 kids. Yeah. Don't you have dreams and goals and aspirations? Yeah. So why don't you get to go? And I had to think, like, what do you mean? Because, there's this wife and husband, and they're working on their marriage, and they should get to go. And it's like, but who's going to take care of your kids if you don't get to go? How are you going to see your dreams fulfilled if you don't get to go? So why don't you get to go? That's just going through my mind, and I'm like, damn, why? Yeah, why don't I get to? Why am I so willing to give up my spot? I need to save myself. What is that? Where did that come from? Why would I not save myself? Dr. Pinkett Trump asked him, well, can't you both? Hold up. This is the Apprentice, not the Apprentice. I'm choosing me because I deserve it. I'm worth it. And that's what that exercise was about. Who gets to go? Are you worth? Is your life worth saving? Yeah, my life was worth saving. So I'm like, okay, well, I get to go. And so there was one more choice I had to make. Who else got to go? And so there was this guy who I thought was really cute. And so I was thinking with the wrong part of my anatomy. So I thought. So I'm like, well, so-and-so gets to go. I'm not going to be by myself. So-and-so gets to go. Now, everybody's chosen who got to stay, who got to go. They've in their head, they've chosen this. So now they got to tell everybody, the remaining 18 people, that they couldn't go. So I had to tell 18 people that basically you're not going to be on this. I don't choose for you to go. And that broke me. It hurt my feelings so bad. I cried through that whole process. I felt bad. Like, dang, that's horrible. And they cried. So when I got to the guy who I said got to go, I get to him. He's standing up. He's stoic. I can handle this. I know what you get ready to say. And I said, you get to go. And this big, he was like 6'2". This big guy breaks down. He went from and to because no one ever told him he got to go. So even though I'm thinking, yeah, girl, you know what this fine dude right here. No. God had other plans. That's why I'm very convinced God uses everything for the good. I'm very convinced of that. So God was like, I want you to tell him he gets to go. Because he needs to hear someone tell him he gets to go. I got it. I know that God knows me. So God, it's not like God was like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that to our, Reese, Shin. God's like, yeah, okay, I know you. I made you. I get it. But he needs to hear he gets to go for another reason. And when I told him that and he broke down, it totally changed the dynamic for me. It made me think about things a lot different when it comes to people. So then I get back to my spot and they say, okay, you got one more. Who you gonna give it to? And I said, I give it to myself. I get to go. And they said, okay, you gotta say it out loud. And I said, I get to go. So then everybody else telling me I didn't get to go, I could gave two. I didn't care because I said I get to go. I gave myself permission to go. So I did not care what other people say. I don't get to. No, you don't get to tell me that. Even if that was a real life scenario, I'm very convinced I'd have found a way to go. So I said I get to go. So I'm going. Doesn't matter what you say. So this woman got to me and she had been struggling with addiction. And when she told me that she was giving her seat to me, I was heated. Don't you ever give your seat away to not nobody, no one. You better take it back. And she wouldn't. I said, you don't give your seat to nobody. You use it for you because you deserve to go. I don't care about the drugs. I get it. I get it. But at the same time, you still get to go. As long as you wake up in the morning, you got that chance to not use drugs anymore. I know it's not easy. I've watched family members go through it. And it took them years to get off. And some would get off and they get back on and get off and get back on. That doesn't mean you don't get to go. And that's what it reminded me of. Dr. Randall Pinket, PhD. He told Trump to his face, I get to go. I get to go. We get to go. And we have to decide we get to go. We don't need to ask for permission to the table. We don't. We get to go because we said so. And we don't need to keep fighting for a place at the table. No, we need to just create our own table and chairs and bring our own dishes. Feed ourselves. That's how you get to go in this situation. You don't ask for somebody to give you permission to go. You just make a way to go. And that brother fought and he fought and he fought. He deserved to go and he deserved to go by himself. So, mesdames and messieurs, make up your mind today that you get to go.